Hi, it's Jodi. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'll be showing you how to make pork schnitzels out of a pork tenderloin. Okay, so I've got the pork tenderloin here minus a couple of inches. I've already cut a few pieces off of this one, but what I wanted to show you is how to make quick and easy pork schnitzels out of a tenderloin. I love the schnitzels from pork tenderloin as they're really tender, and you can get them super thin, which my family really likes. So we start with the pork tenderloin. Like I say, I've cut some off already. But what you need to know about the pork tenderloin is a thin, shiny, silvery membrane that goes across. There's a piece of it on top, and this we have to cut off because it tends to be very tough when you cook it. So you just go underneath it with your knife, you hold it up, and then just bring your knife under it and cut it off just like so. Okay, so just like that. Just bring your knife under it and then bring your knife down and cut it off. Okay, so just like that, and then bring your knife back and cut it off. See? But it's that silvery, shiny skin. It's a membrane that's on top. This is just fat. So you take that off, just like so. Okay, but the membrane, there's a little piece here still. It's hard to tell on this one, there wasn't too much. But we'll just get right underneath it. Okay, and then slide your knife, it's hard to see here, like that underneath it. And just like this here, get your knife under and then slide it down. There you go. Okay, so on the pork tenderloin, you get anywhere from 8 to 10 schnitzels from one loin, depending on how thick you cut them. So I like them about this thickness right here. What's that, about an inch? Okay. Just cut straight across like that. Okay, and then cut like that. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, I've got 2 to 3 pieces that I already cut off. Okay, so we'll just put this aside here. And then we'll put our meat to the side. Put our knife here. My little trick, you can't, when you pound your meat thin, you can't do it just on the cutting board or it doesn't move. You need it to be able to slide. So what I do is I get 2 large Ziploc bags, like so. I put one piece of meat down like that, put the other meat on top of it. I have a mallet. If you don't have a mallet, you can use a wine bottle, maybe the bottom of a pot. You can just hit it, but you just hit it just like that. Okay. And see how it slides out? There, just like that. With the flat end. You don't want the jagged end, just the flat end. Peel it back, and there you go. And this is where I salt now, and I pepper it. You can put garlic on if you like. I just like salt and pepper. And look how thin that is. Okay, so now we'll get another one. You just lay it like that, bag on top, and then just pound it out thin. And these are super tender when you fry them. Like I say, my family likes them really thin. There. And then just salt and pepper it. Look at that. And then again, pound one more out. And if you wanted these a little bit smaller, You could just cut them a little bit thinner when you're cutting off the pork tenderloin. Okay. There you go. And then you can pound them as thick as you want. So now we're going to bread our pork cutlets here. So we need our breading station. Really important that it's lined up just so. First we need flour seasoned with salt and pepper, garlic if you'd like. Then we have our egg, which I season again with a little bit of salt. And then I have my panko crumbs, which I season again with a little bit of salt and pepper. You can add some garlic to that, whatever other seasoning that you'd like. So we start with our first cutlet here, into the flour, into the egg, and into the panko, like so. See? Look at that. And if you don't have panko crumbs, you can use just plain breadcrumbs, seasoned breadcrumbs, whatever you'd like, a mixture of both. I like the panko because it makes it really nice and crispy. Okay, so there, into the panko. This bread, just like that. And the reason behind doing the flour first, so we put the flour on the meat, then we put in the egg. The flour makes the egg stick to the pork, and then the egg allows the panko crumbs to stick to the cutlet. Look at that. And then when you fry it, nothing comes off the schnitzel. All the breading stays on, and it fries to a nice crispy piece of deliciousness. Okay. And again, you do the same with chicken as well. There we go. So I'm going to continue breading, and I'll be back to put it in the pan for you and give it a good fry. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now we're going to fry the schnitzel. So we start with a frying pan. We fill it a little bit with oil. We have a cooling rack, and I've put a paper towel on top of it to absorb any of the oil. Now I've got it to, say, a medium-high heat. A good way to test if the oil is done is take a little bit of your breadcrumb and drop it into the oil. And if it bubbles up to the top, then it's ready to go. Okay, so we take one of the schnitzels and we just put it down into the oil, just like so. You don't want it to be too hot because then it'll fry too fast and it'll burn on you. And you don't want it to be cold either, where it's not moving, or else it's just going to absorb all the oil on you. So this is looking good. I've just turned it up a little bit because I want to add a few more schnitzels to the pan, and I don't want our oil to cool down too much. So we just grab another one like so and just put it into the oil. And we'll just cook a couple at a time. You don't want to crowd them too much or they won't fry up nice and golden. Now they don't take too long to cook because you saw how thin they were. Super quick and easy. I mean, you can do this ahead of time, bread the meat and then cook it the next day if you're trying to prepare meals for the week. So there we go. Look at that. Now I'll just turn it down a little bit, just so it doesn't brown too quickly. So there, now we flip it over, see how nice and crispy it is and light golden. We don't want to crowd our pan with any more, or else they'll start boiling. They won't actually crisp up. And then they'll just be soft and soggy. There. And it's quick, it's so thin it takes next to no time at all to cook it through. The biggest part of this is just getting a nice crispy crust to it. Yeah, just get some color on that. And we're almost there. And, you know, this is actually done. This would be completely fine to take out of the pan at this moment. But my family, we like it a little bit crispier. So that's all up to you. I just like a little bit more color on ours. It's cooked right through now. You don't have to worry about that. There you go. And just lay it on the baking rack and let the oil drain from it. And then we'll continue with the rest of our schnitzel. Just like that. And we'll put one more in. Okay, just a small one here. We'll do this one. There we go. And we'll continue frying until these are ready. Okay, we're all done. Pork schnitzels are all cooked and ready for dinner. Enjoy.